Let's build the coolest Warhammer 40k miniature, shall we? Hello my friends, my name is Max and today we are building the brand new Aethon Shaan. A miniature of Raven Guard that looks absolutely fantastic, and that is arguably the coolest miniature of all times. Let me know in the comments below if you think the same way. This mini has a lot of bits involved. It is actually fairly complex, so let's get cracking. But before we begin, let me really quickly remind you that if you like my videos, please like this one, subscribe, it will really help me to move forward. And if you really enjoy my content, please check out my Patreon. And without any further ado, let's build our pal. We start, as always, with the torso. We would need bits 1 and 2. These are the bits of my torso. They should be combined like this. And let's try to glue them together. And this is our torso so far. Next, they want us to add a separate chest plate, number 3. This is my bit number 3. I frankly do not understand why it couldn't be the part of the chest plates from the beginning. It is actually really tiny. And it should be sitting over here like this. Let's glue it. Here we go. Next, we add the left leg number 7. This is our left leg. It has a funny looking fang over here. And it should be assembled like this. Let's glue it. Now our pal has both of his legs. And we move forwards to the right arm. We would need bits 4 and 5 for that. These are my bits of the right arm. And they should be combined together like this. So this is a pauldron. He has some raven feathers on the pauldron, and the arm goes in over here like this. It looks fairly tricky. And that is our right arm so far. Next, they suggest we add the right arm to the torso. It should be done roughly like this. Make sure to dry fit this arm before you glue it. But it should sit really tight. There is a lock-looking thing over here. And that is our right arm in place. Sitting over here. Very good, we have done all this stuff. And we move to this wing, number 6. This is my wing 6. It has a raven skull over here. Very small one. And some bumps over here that should fix it in place. This one should be sitting over here. This dot over here is basically the place for this bump. That is how it sits in my case. Looking fairly good. And next we add the left arm bit number 9. And this is my tiny left arm number 9. And this one should be sitting over here along these lines. And that is my left arm in place. Next we need to add this lightning claws number 14 on his right arm. These lightning claws look absolutely fantastic. There is a raven skull over here. Very, very cool. There is a lock. And they should be added over here. Let's try to do just that. And this is my right arm with the lightning claws. Very good. And next we add something that looks like a pauldron on his left arm, bit number 8. Yes, this does look like a Raven Guard pauldron, or at least part of this pauldron. This seemingly should be sitting somewhere over here. Looks really bizarre. But apparently this is how it is supposed to be. There is a very peculiar shape. and that is the left pauldron in place. And there is a beat number 10 that is supposed to be sitting on top of it. And this beat number 10 also has a bunch of feathers. And a raven skull over here. So this beat is apparently supposed to be sitting like this. Looks really weird. Here we go. This is how it looks. Make sure to check this image in order to see that you have done the correct thing. These images are actually quite helpful because these two beats have really peculiar shapes. In my case, it seems like that everything is going as planned so far. So we flip a page and we arrive to the left wing, beat number 11. My left wing looks like this. This one should be sitting here like this. So make sure that the left wing is touching the right wing during the whole length of it. So it should be in this position. It should be adding to the right wing. And that is how you know that it is the correct position. And that is our left wing in place. He has a cape of feathers, so to speak. That's a lot of feathers. And it is a little bit flimsy, but if you're doing everything right, it should be sitting here in a nice way. Next, we are supposed to choose a head. By popular demand, we're gonna go with the middle head, the helmeted one, beat 17. This is our beat 17, a beaky helmet with some optical improvements over here, looking absolutely amazing. It has a lock over here, so it should be sitting perfectly in place. And there is a key over there. When you build him, make sure to dry fit it first, because it is a fairly tricky position, be extremely careful. And I am going to try to glue it. This is how it sits in my particular case. The head is a little bit forward. And he is gonna be in this kind of position. Next, we are supposed to add the plates on his right leg, beat number 12. This is my beat 12 with the Raven Guard symbology, looking actually quite cool. And there is a stripe of this nice thing over here. Should be fixed along these lines. And I am going to glue it. And that is my pal so far. Looking good. We have done this stuff. Now let's add a bolt pistol 13 sitting on his right leg in a holster. This is my bolt pistol 13. Has a lock over here. And then there is a key over here. So it should be assembled somewhat like this. And I am going to glue it. And that seems like the bolt pistol sitting in place. Now let's add the left lightning claw, beat 15. This is my beat 15. It looks very, very similar to the right lightning claw. It also has a lock here. And it should be sitting over here like this. And that is our left lightning claw in place. We have done all these things, and now we need to build a base for him. Let's start with beats 24 and 25. These are my beats 24 and 25. They should be combined together like this. There is a kind of look, very large and prominent look. Here we go. This is how they sit together. Next, we need to add beat 26 on top of it. This is my beat 26. We can see there is a place for his foot over here. And this beat should be sitting over here like this. That is our base so far. And next we need to add the small beats of rusty metal 27. This is my beat 27. Should be sitting somewhere over here, like this. Here we go. This is how it looks assembled. Looking fancy. And now we need to add bit 28 on the other side. This is bit 28, more rusty stuff. And this one seems to be sitting on this side of this rubble. And this looks like a rubble that he is perched on. We have 1 foot of him over here, and another one will be over here. Looks really, really bizarre, if you ask me. Next, they want us to place this whole thing on a base, and I think that this is a moment for us to do just that. We have a 50mm base, and we can place this whole setup somewhat like this. I will try to center it as much as I can, because I don't know how it's supposed to be sitting. And that is our base so far. Next, we are supposed to build his jump pack. We start with beats 20 and 21. These are my beats 20 and 21, and they are supposed to be combined like this. These are my parts of the jump pack so far. Next, we add beat 19 over here. And this is our beat 19. So this is the part of the jump pack that is sitting on his back. This is supposed to be assembled like this. And let's glue it. And that is our jump pack so far. Next, they want us to add the exhaust number 22. This exhaust looks fairly cool. It also has looks. So we're gonna place it here. And that is our jump pack. And the beat 23 is sitting on top of it. This is our beat 23. Looks fairly peculiar. And it is supposed to be assembled like this. This jump pack looks amazing. It is incredibly cool. Now they want us to place the PAL on the base and build some servo skulls. In this case, the servo skulls are actually skulls of ravens, seemingly. Let's build a servo skull first. Beats 29 and 30. These are my beats of the servo skull. They look very, very small. It seems like that they are supposed to be assembled somewhat like this. This looks really bizarre. But let's try to make it happen. And this is our first servo skull assembled. We will give it some rest. And I can see that we are supposed to assemble a second one further on, from beats 31 and 32. Let's do just that. And these are the beats of the second servo skull. They are similarly bizarre, so I will try to make it work. And that is my second servo skull, presumably. And now let's try to place him on the base. The base looks solid. This is our PAL. We gave him a little bit of rest. And he is supposed to be perching on this thing somewhat like this. So we are supposed to glue this leg over here, this area, and a little bit over here too. Wow, look at this. Look at this. This looks incredibly bizarre, but it seems like it works. Next, we need to add the first servo skull somewhere over here at the base. And it is supposed to be sitting somewhere here. It is really hard to see because of my finger, but there is a small hole over here, which is a look, and there is a stripe over here that the second stripe of the servo skull is supposed to go to. I think in my case, this worked out this way. Looks really bizarre, but it is what it is. And next, they want us to add a second servo skull and his jump pack. Let's start with the jump pack. This is gonna be easier. This is our jump pack. And it is supposed to be sitting on his back. It's supposed to be sitting somewhat like this. If you did everything right with the feather cape, it should be in this kind of position. Let me try to do just that. And that looks like a jump pack is in place. We move forward. The only thing that is left is the server skull that should be sitting over here. This is our second server skull. It seems like it has two keys over here. And it should be placed in these two looks. So it should be somewhat like this. Let's try to make it happen. And this is our miniature, my friends. Aethon Shaan. It looks absolutely fantastic. This mini is really, really, really cool. I will give it 5 server skulls out of 5 for the sheer fun of building it. It looks amazing. I don't have enough words to describe how cool it is. And I will give 3 out of 5 for its ease of assembly. The good news is that it does not have a lot of mold line, and the mini itself is really well done. Nothing to scratch, almost nothing to scratch. Everything looks very, very clean. But it has a lot of peculiar bits and a lot of peculiar shapes. And guess what? That makes it really hard to make some things work. The really bizarre hands, incredibly bizarre cape, makes it really, really challenging for people who have no idea how to build minis to build the spell. So I would strongly not recommend building this mini as your first Warhammer 40k miniature. If you have built minis before, sure, you can manage. But this mini is not easy to build at all. It took me roughly an hour and 10 or 15 minutes to build the spell. It has a lot of beats, and that is yet another reason why I put him 3 server skulls out of 5 for the ease of assembly. It is a lot of beats, and yeah, not all of them are trivial. Anyways, the end result is well worth it. Now let's take a look how he stands next to some other minis. Somewhat randomly, let's start with a similarly sized Saturnine Praetor from the Saturnine box. We can see that the Saturnine Terminator, which is incredibly large, is almost as tall as this mini on the left that we have built today. They both use 50mm bases, and that is because they are incredibly large. Size-wise, of course, the Terminator is larger, but this tactical trunk makes Aethon Shaan really shine. If we talk chapter masters, we have another pal on a 50mm base. This is Marneus Calgar. And now we can probably see the reason they are making new Marneus Calgar in Terminator armor, because this one looks really small compared to the new Raven Guard leader. They are almost of the same size, and the guy on the right is actually wearing a modified Gravis armor. We definitely need a larger Calgar. I'm not even talking about Imperial Feast Thor Garradon, who looks like a boy compared to this new miniature. Somehow, this miniature on the left looks really, really large, and actually larger than Primaris Space Marines. And speaking of Primaris Space Marines, we have a gunner from the new Deathwatch box, the Kill Team Toon World box. And guess what? This gunner is actually seemingly less tall than Aethon Shaan. So the mini on the left is definitely much larger. And that is gonna be it for today, my friends. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think of the new Raven Guard leader miniature? Did you get him? Did you build him? Let me know. If you like this video, please consider liking it and subscribe to the channel. It will help you to catch more content like this in the future, and it will help me to grow this channel. If you really enjoy my content, please check out my Patreon. We have a lot of fun stuff there too. As always, check out the video that you see now on your screen. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.